What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Pulse. I want to just let everybody know that Twitch TV chat has been a little bit buggy across the past couple of days, and for that reason, we've not actually been doing much polling today, and we acknowledge that it's kind of a little bit difficult to take part in the chat. I apologize for that, and I hope that next week it is all straightened out. We are still on the wire. We are moving over into tournament news. There has been a lot of StarCraft happening over in Korea, and what better way to kick it all off than with the GSL and with Dan.
That's right, Ben. We've got lots of cool GSL action. Round of 32 has concluded with lots of heartbreaks. We have still a lot of fan favorites going to round 16, and we're going to begin with Group A. With the round of 16 of GSL, which means losers are safe enough that you'll go to the up and downs, but winners are guaranteed a spot in the next GSL that will be Heart of the Swarm. In Group A, we have 4 fan favorites, and we begin with Dongregu and Bomber, 2 players who showcase godlike skills in the round of 32. If you need cliff notes on the series, it went something a little like this.
A little bit lower now. Right. Oh god. Oh god. Here we go. Tasteless. A bajillion Banelings coming in and slaughtering off this army so far. He's not even gonna lose the hat.
Things looked awesome for DRG as his incredible Mutiling Baneling style in ZVT devastated Bomber early on with endless amounts of aggression and poignant attacks. Dongregu nabs an easy 2-0 victory and a spot in the winners match where he would await the winner between Liquid Tasia and STX Soul Innovation. This series would be hailed by Artosis as one of the highest level TVTs ever witnessed in GSL history. We hop to the match on Daybreak where the classic split map standoff was finally broken by Innovation's drop tactics, dealing massive internal damage to the Liquid Terran. Tasia would strike back with a push down the middle, but was denied by Innovation's flank and strong macro. To break the siege line, Innovation would nuke and advance forward, fortifying the crucial bottom lane on the map and finding an opening to seal the deal for good. Tasia had no more resources to fund his army and had to tap out. Innovation wins the series 2-1 and received the Artosis praise as the best playing Terran in StarCraft II. However, this time it wasn't an Artosis curse, it was the Artosis favor, as Innovation's TVZ completely nullified DRG's attacks and quelled the Zerg aggression. Innovation again showed that he has incredibly solid late game play in addition to his savage cheeses. DRG's flanks were ineffective all series long as the Kespa Terran advances to grab one of the final 8 spots. In the losers match, Bomber, whose TVT historically looked weak, here's a good example why.
Whereas the medevacs of Bomber are a bit behind, so Tasia getting a lot of healing. Really He's got to pull back though. He doesn't want to go into the siege tank. Have enough to.
A premature stim from Bomber's Marines on Cloud Kingdom would ensure Tasia's advantage, and from there Tasia would waltz into Bomber's base uncontested and usher Bomber out of the tournament with a decisive 2-0 victory. That would mean the last spot would go to either Tasia or DRG, both capable of making it to the semifinals at the very least. We go to Game 3 to witness a huge deciding moment of the series as Dongregu executes a vintage massive Baneling attack on the 4th base of Tasia. This is to enforce map control and limit Terran's future resources, but after the attack, Dongregu loses attention to his Mutalisk flock, relinquishing his ability to pressure his opponent. Immediately, Tasia would persevere forward and secure an insurmountable lead, forcing DRG to take a last bad fight and exit Wings of Liberty with only 1 GSL title.
That's it.
This base will go down, as does
Tasia making it through to a round of 8.
Tasia, defying all odds again despite his injury, will move on for the quarterfinals. Dongregu, with only 1 GSL title, still has secured himself as the best MVP Zerg. Over to Group B, we have another pair of heavy fan favorites as Squirtle and Marine King, 2 silver medalists, are aching for a GSL championship. Squirtle, one of the 3 remaining Protosses in the GSL, started just as strong as he did in the previous round as Symbol crumbled under the deadly timings from Squirtle. The teamless Protoss would cruise to a 2-0 series win, but his night would not be over yet. With MVP out of the picture for good, the last Wings of Liberty GSL would be Marine King's best chance to take a championship. He would have to face off against a streaking hot Soul Key from Woonjin Stars. Marine King's night would be a long one, though, as we head to Game 3, where Marine King opens 2 racks, and Soul Key doesn't scout it until it's too late. Or is it?
Just missed. Did he get the bunker up? I can't believe what we're seeing here.
This is like a Zerg's nightmare right now. He's supposed to.
This is not how Soul Key saw this game going, and this is
how
not how
StarCraft
Marine
II
King saw it going
It's not how
either.
StarCraft II is supposed to look either.
Absolutely confusing, but nonetheless stunning defense by Soulkey, who manages to defend with minimal scouting in a scenario where everything went perfectly for Marine King, or so it seemed. From there, Soulkey identified Marine King's mech army and quickly roach dropped an army to finish the series off 2-1. Now, if you like miracle defenses, we've got another nasty one. Let's talk about Game 2 between Squirtle and Soulkey, where Soulkey attempts a Baneling bust, which Squirtle had zero foreknowledge of. The Banelings crushed through the initial barriers, but Squirtle somehow force fields and micros perfectly with probes and sentries to hold. Down 3 bases to 1, Squirtle opts to 5-gate instead of expand and segregates his army into 2. From there, Squirtle will pool all of his talent to yank this game from the abyss of hell.
I believe what I'm seeing here. This is kind of crazy. Look at those force fields, and he picks up with these additional speedlings come out. You know, he's going right now,
And he's force filled this again.
really well.
I've never seen, this is going to be like one of the best games we've ever seen if he wins this. I can't believe it. He got the hatchery?
He did, but he is put any corruptors he
But
can.
the Miracle on Ice could not chill the Zerg evolution as the army of Squirtle melted to the might of Soulkey's cunning tactics. Soulkey barely advances to the round of 8, defeating Squirtle by a score of 2-1. This would mean that in the losers match, Marine King would again go to Game 3, this time against Symbol, with his last lifeline in the tournament. From here, Marine King decided to open mech, and it would decide a great game onto Daybreak. What do you know? Symbol decides to go for the tried and true, that roach drop. This time, however, Marine King was way better prepared and stabilizes the game. He musters up an unkillable army for a massive assault, causing Symbol to counterattack with mutas and roach drops, creating a base race scenario. Both players loses all of their tech and switch sides on the maps. Things were looking amazing for Symbol until Marine King finds a huge line that he was ready to snort up. This set up one final engagement that would define the rest of the game.
How can he do it? He's going for it. Beautiful snipes on these Thors. The Thor's out of position. Magic box coming up.
He won.
And Symbol is knocking out Marine.
The immobility of Mech and the cleverness of Symbol allows him to catch Marine King out of position and end the series for good. The last series of the week would be a rematch of the first. Squirtle fans saw a gut-wrenching series as the former Startail Protoss looked the opposite of how he did at the beginning of the night. After failing an Immortal Sentry push on Cloud Kingdom, Squirtle gets violently bullied on Daybreak like a young Frodan in middle school and attempts one last desperation push. But it is easily parried by Spinecrawler and Fester Brulor. The same old story. Symbol advances to the round of 16, defeating Marine King and Squirtle just as he did in Season 3 of GSL last year. The same exact group, that time with MC. Symbol defies all odds with his new team, Azubu. That wraps up GSL Codes for the round of 16, the first 2 groups. We have a nice little graphic to actually show you what's going to happen. Innovation and Soulkey both advanced to the round of 8 for the second straight time despite being Kespa players. And MKP, despite falling out and never winning a GSL championships, the past 6 GSLs, he's gotten to the round of 16 or higher. 4 times to the round of 16 and 2 times to the round of 8. We also want to mention Code A. I forgot. Sorry, I'm not done yet, Ben. Let me finish. Because a lot of fan favorites are in Code A. Let's talk about it. In Bracket 1, Jaedong loses to Lure, and Hero does beat Yu-Gi-Oh! And Tai, everyone was expecting him to do well, but he did lose to Avenge. And in Bracket number 2, Huck drops to Shine at 0-2. Also, quick shout-out to Labyrinth, who's a guy that no one knows about. He defeated IEM champion first from LGIM. And Bracket 3, everyone was really anxious to see how Flash would do. He advances, but MVP is out of GSL. Can you believe this? Kev, we talked about this. Gretorp, we talked about this. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, he looked really hopeless in those games as well. I kind of felt like it was uninspiring play. I kind of just feel that perhaps he was done with Wings by now, or perhaps he's not in the best shape. But the mech play that he got also famous with, or at least he got famous for so many things. But his last, let's say, rise back then with the mech play when he won IEM and made it to the finals again of GSL, that just doesn't really work anymore. And it just didn't look the same as the MVP that we know and we love.
He threw it. Still best player in Wings Liberty.
Definitely. Definitely. And we speculated on that on a few shows ago, but
yeah.
if you really look at the results.
No, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of reasons to lose motivation for him, so I'm sure it's hard to train, and that's what you get.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
MVP will rise again. There's no doubt.
With a brand new rap.
No, overall, I think really lots of cool games. Just summed up a little bit, and I think it's super crazy. Something that Dan pointed out is that both Sulky and Innovation made it to the round of 8 of the last GSL. Yeah. Now they do it again, and they're also like the only 2 Caspa players in the GSL. Like, how crazy is that? And now they're actually on opposite side of the bracket as well. So,
man, how symbolic would it be if those 2 guys played in the final of the last?
And I guess the player wins the last Wings of Liberty.
I mean, that would really kind of
sweeps it.
Changing of the guard.
That's like at the start of the GSL season, we predicted so many amazing stories, you know, like MC, MVP, Nasty. We thought about all these cool things.
Huck.
Stefano, Hawk, maybe a Marine King or Linok finally. All those things did not happen. And now there's a new story up on the horizon. What if a Caspa player just shows up and wins it? That's pretty exciting too.
It could definitely happen.
Yes, it could.